Want to switch to CachyOS but scared it'll be complicated? Watch this. I'll install CachyOS from start to finish on my Lenovo ThinkPad T480S, no virtual machine. And we'll take a look at some of its amazing features. Let's dive in. But first, back up your data. You won't regret it. Okay, so here we are. We're going in the BIOS menu right now. I've inserted my USB drive. I'm going to make sure that the USB drive is selected first as the first option for startup. And it is. I'm going to go ahead and hit F10. Save and exit. This takes me right into Ventoy, where I'm going to scroll down and select the CachyOS ISO file. All right, so CachyOS is starting up now, and we're going to be in the installer pretty shortly here. All right, so here we are in the Welcome to CachyOS screen. This is where you could look at the documentation, you could check out the support and software forums, and get involved in the project, and donate and develop. You could also launch the installer here. This is the live environment. This is a great place to start if you want to check to see if your hardware is going to work with CachyOS. You could just make sure that everything opens. You can go in and check volume settings, Bluetooth settings, Wi-Fi settings. And speaking of Wi-Fi settings, I'm going to go ahead and enable my Wi-Fi now so that we have it during the installation. All right, Wi-Fi is enabled. We're going to go ahead and hit launch the installer. This does take a couple seconds to pop up, so just give it time and be patient. All right, so we're going to choose our language here, American English. We're going to choose our region here, keyboard layout. Here, I'm going to choose Limini as my bootloader. You have all the options here. You could go Grub, System D boot, and then there's these other two that I've never actually seen before, but we're going to stick with Limini or Limine. Let me know in the comments, is it Limine or Limini? And this, we're going to erase the entire disk. This would be a great time to back up your data. Actually, it would have been a good idea to back up your data before doing this, but this is going to erase everything on the drive and install CachyOS. Make sure that the correct drive is selected up here. It is this. So here you can choose your desktop environment. We're going to go with KDE Plasma, but if you wanted to, for some reason in the world, choose GNOME, don't know why you would, you could. Cosmic as well. This is Pop! OS's default desktop environment. It has a little bit of bugs right now, so I would not choose Cosmic as starting out. Neri's a little more complicated, takes some configuring. Cinnamon is a great desktop environment as well. There is a Linux Mint Cinnamon edition that is a great desktop environment and distro combination. And here you can see all the other choices down here you can choose from. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and go with the Plasma desktop. I'm going to hit next there. These are additional packages I can install. I'm going to go ahead and just skip this. I'm going to install everything I need later anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. Now we'll go ahead and put in our login credential information. And we're going to use the same password for the administrator account. All right, this is the last screen before it's go time. So make sure all of the information here is correct and then hit install and install now, and we'll start the stopwatch. All right, we're all done, and that took 14 whole minutes. That is the longest install of the install videos that I've made so far. 14 minutes. Gonna go ahead and it probably would have been a little faster if I was on a wired Ethernet connection, but so far I've done all of them on Wi-Fi, so you get a good gauge about sort of the ratio of the time it takes between all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit restart now and hit done. And at this point, as soon as I stop seeing the text, I'm going to pull the USB drive out. All right, USB drive is out and the system is restarting now. Here we are in SDDM. I'm putting in my password. You can't see it yet. And then I'm going to mirror the display so you guys can check it out. So here we are in KDE Plasma, CachyOS first time. So this is the welcome screen. We're going to go ahead and go into the install apps section. This is everything that is installed out of the box with CachyOS. You can check it all out right here. And now this, so I clicked on apps tweaks. This is where you can update the system via the GUI instead of having to use the terminal. I'm going to show you how to do it with the GUI right now because we're going to Assume that you are a Windows or Mac user and you're going to Linux for the first time and you don't want to have to sit in the terminal, if ever, but the least amount of time as possible. So we're going to go ahead and hit system update, put in my super strong password, and we're updating the system now. All right, so the system is totally up to date. I literally just downloaded the ISO this morning, so it is the most current version. Otherwise, you would sit through an upgrade and then restart the laptop. Always a good idea to restart the laptop after you do a full system upgrade. So I'm going to go to the CachyOS package installer. This is where you would go to download applications, programs. Here you have audio. These are all the ones that are in the most popular packages. You can, of course, search for more. We're going to go ahead and install Firefox. Actually, Firefox is already installed. We're going to go ahead and install VLC. So I'm going to click on VLC here, and then I'm going to hit install. And then I'm just going to hit OK. And then I'm going to put in my password, and we're installing Steam, we're installing VLC, hit Y. And this is literally what you would see in the terminal if you did this all in the terminal as well. And I can show you also how to do it in the terminal. We're going to go ahead and install Steam in the terminal, and I'll show you. It's very, very easy. All right, so VLC is installed. If you want to check to see where it's at, just go down here. This is basically your start menu, and you'll see the little green dot next to something that has been upgraded or is new. And here you have VLC Media Player. Great media player for Linux. It also works on Mac OS and Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. So what you can actually do is hit your meta key or super key. It'll bring this up, and you can type in anything you want here, and it will just pop up just like the start menu, but way better actually. So we're going to look up Shelly. So Shelly is the modern Arch package manager. This is basically going to be like your app store here. I'm going to go ahead and enable all of these just so I get the full amount of packages that I could possibly see, and hit finish setup. Authenticate with my password, and then so it's installing all of these packages here. So it's got to do a little bit of install first, because we selected all of those check marks in the beginning. Okay, so a reboot is required. We're going to go ahead and open the application launcher and just simply hit restart and restart now. And then we'll restart and be back in a moment. All right, so we have this launch at start, which is nice if you want to get into these every time, but I'm going to go ahead and disable it at start so it doesn't come up every time. And now we're in Shelly, so I'm going to search for Steam. And here we have Steam. So I'm going to click on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit install selected. Now you can also look for system updates here and manage things as well. So this is basically how you're going to do it all in the graphical user interface. I'm going to install Steam. Yes, install packages. Put in my password, and we're installing Steam. I'm going to select all for the optional dependencies. All right, so Steam is installed. We're going to go ahead and open the application launcher. I'm just going to type in Steam, and boom, there it is right there. Hit enter, and Steam is up and running. So remember, Shelly is the package manager for Arch-based distros right now. It's really great. You can just search for what you want in here, find it on the left-hand side, click the little check mark, and then click install, and you're off to the races with whatever you need to install. Don't have to use the terminal to install packages, programs, applications now. Wi-Fi credentials did carry over from the live environment, which is nice. I saw that with Zorin OS, but Linux Mint Debian Edition did not do that. Let me know in the comments, is that a desktop environment thing or is that a distribution thing? Let's check out the volume controls. Volume controls work perfectly. Keyboard brightness controls work perfectly. So we'll do a little bit of navigating the desktop. They have some things called hot corners. So if you go up here and hold it up here for a second, you will get an overview of all of your current desktops. Then you can add desktops here and click on them and go to them. So to switch between your different workspaces or desktops, you're going to hit the super key and F1, F2, F3, all the way up to however many workspaces you have. So this is switching between the workspaces here. So you could have, let's say, Firefox open on this workspace here and switch to workspace 1, have your Dolphin file manager up here, and you can switch between these two with the super and F1, F2 keys. In the overview here, if you click on the hot corner, you could see which desktop has what on it, and they will all line up here on the top. Here is also like the application launcher, so you could search Steam and you'll find your applications by searching in this little box as well. So we're going to delete that desktop, and go back to this one. So it took the programs from the desktops I was deleting and crammed it all into the first desktop. So it didn't close the programs as I closed the desktops. We're going to go into enter edit mode. And this is where you can add widgets. You can add another panel. You can edit and change the panel as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add widgets here. And then here are all the ones you have on the left-hand side. You can get more with this. And I'm going to go ahead and add this analog clock. Oops, I did it twice. So what I'm going to do is click on the X to remove one, put the little analog clock up there. And now I've got a little analog clock. Here's where you can add a different panel. And I'm going to go ahead and exit edit mode. Also here, you can show the panel configuration. So I can change the position of the panel. I can put it at the top, which is where I usually like it. I can make it hide. I can make it translucent. I can make it floating, and I can change the width and the alignment of it here. These are your notifications down here. I'm going to go ahead and click exit edit mode, and boom. We've got the panel up top, and we have our widget, our clock right here. And also you've got your system tray up here. So you've got the console. This is, oh, nice. I didn't know that. Okay, so Shelly is actually pinned to the system tray as well. So this is going to be your package installer here. So that's cool. Shelly is pinned up there. You've got your volume controls here, applications that are using volume. You've got your different devices and your volumes for those devices here. And then here you've got your mute and show virtual devices. And then you have your settings for audio here as well. And this is where you can change all your settings for audio. You got your Bluetooth functionality here as well, brightness controls for different monitors. And then you've got some extra stuff like your notifications. You can set up a weather report, got your disks and devices, display configuration, power and battery settings, and also KDE Connect, which is a nice app that lets you connect all your devices using KDE, kind of like LocalSend, but for KDE. We don't have any Office apps installed here, so we're going to hit the application launcher and go to console. And this comes with Fastfetch. So here we are, 1,256 packages installed on install. We're running KDE Plasma 6.6.5. We're running the most update Linux kernel 7.0.8-1, the CachyOS version. And here you can see the specs of my computer. You could compare this to your own if you're installing CachyOS as well. So we're going to go ahead and install LibreOffice. So it's going to be the command sudo pacman-s LibreOffice. And we're going to hit yes. Fresh install and yes. And now we're installing LibreOffice. This is an Office suite that allows you to edit text documents, create spreadsheets, pretty much your basic Office suite of programs that you would see. Like when it comes to Windows, it would be Word, Excel. This is your basic Linux suite of Office programs. There is also OnlyOffice. They both have their pros and cons. All right, so LibreOffice is installed. We'll go ahead and close out of the terminal, hit the super key, and then you could see LibreOffice Math has been installed, LibreOffice Draw has been installed, and we've also got the full suite of LibreOffice applications here. Next, we'll take a look at the system monitor. So we'll hit the super key and type in system, and there's system monitor, hit enter, and we'll take a look at the system monitor. So I am using 1.8 gigs of memory, pretty light, fresh install, nothing really running right now. I've got Shelly running. I could quit that application. Now it's the bare bones, 1.8 gigabytes at idle. That's pretty light. So who is CachyOS for? I don't care what anyone says. From personal experience, I haven't had any issues with updates or breaking my system with normal everyday use. I think CachyOS with KDE Plasma is great for anyone looking for a clean and easy Linux experience that is super quick and very customizable. Coming from Windows or Mac OS, no problem. With the Calamaris installer, Shelly, the GUI package manager, the one-click CachyOS update icon in the system tray, and the CachyOS Welcome Hello app, you'll probably never find yourself really having to use the terminal. And if you do, there is always Google, Reddit, and the CachyOS forum to help you through. What do you think about CachyOS? Would you give it a try as your daily driver? Are you already using it? Let me know in the comments. Also, if this video helped you install Linux without any headaches, consider buying me a coffee. My Ko-Fi link is in the description. It helps me keep making these step-by-step Linux guides. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.